God bless you, friends, and welcome to your Lifeline Outreach broadcast. I want to thank God for blessing me once again to come your way wherever you are listening to my voice. You may be driving down the street in your automobile, your place where your residence, or wherever you are listening to my voice. May the Lord's richest blessings be upon each and every one of you is my prayer. Well, there is an observation I want to make regarding this time of year. Yes, from April 4th through April 10th is Think Before You Act Nonviolence Week in memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Now, those of you that are familiar with this campaign, there may be some of you that have never heard of it before, but this campaign had its genesis in 2010. And I will give you a little history of this Think Before You Act campaign. Well, in 2010, the national crime rate for Memphis was 2.5. And all around the city of Memphis, the news were about crime. And it hasn't changed today. But how this campaign had its genesis, it was that on January the 27th, a nursing student, 27-year-old, was murdered. Well, she came up missing, and her children were here in our academy. And a family member reported that she was missing, and 1 month later, February the 27th, Marquez Rainey, he was murdered, a security guard in Southland Mall. But let me just back up a moment. That was March the 27th, I believe it was, that Sonia Millbrooks was found murdered in a motel room under the bed. And of course, that was certainly a crime that could have been prevented. Should never have happened, but Marquez Rainey, a security guard in Southland Mall, there he was just trying to do his job, and he was murdered. And I live in Whitehaven, and as a result, driving by the mall about 2 days after, I had an epiphany as though my spirit left out of my body, went into the mall. I didn't know Mr. Rainey, but my spirit went into the mall, and I saw this event, how it took place. And as he was leaving here, giving his last breath, taking his last breath, it was as though he had his mind on his wife. And as I continued to drive, I began to meditate. I said, Lord, what is this? What is the meaning of this? And God said to me, the person that committed that crime did not think before he acted. And he says, I want you to go and tell everyone to think before they act, because there are consequences to all of our actions. And that particular moment, I got busy and began to write all the initiatives that would take place and be involved in what we were to do. We went to the city council, and unanimously they passed a resolution that April 4th through April 10th each year would be Think Before You Act Nonviolence Week in memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so from 2010 to this particular date, every year we are campaigning and trying to get people everywhere to just stop for a moment and think before you act in a nonviolent manner. Many today are incarcerated, but they didn't think until they got behind the bars or got in jail. So I am encouraging all that hear my voice today. Domestic violence is on rampage because people are not thinking before they act in a violent manner. Lawyers, we want to put them out of business. The judges, we want to put them out of business. They can go on vacation. If people would just stop for a moment and think before you act in a violent manner. So we're April 4th through April 10th, Nonviolence Week. Think Before You Act Nonviolence Week in memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. May God bless you, and I know you're going to pass this message on to everyone that you meet, to just stop for a moment and think before you act. Well, we're going to continue this broadcast and take you now into the sanctuary, pick up a portion of my message. I minister to the church. You listen, and you be blessed is my prayer.